That's a mighty good word, party folk. It's your Mile High Priest. I'm up here on Venus's Day. It's Friday, January 12th. Happy New Moon. Happy New Year. This is a Leo collective reading for the Leo Sun, Moon, Rising placements. I am the Mile High Priest. I do have other collective messages that may resonate with you. Feel free to check them out. I just did a new moon reading yesterday, so I would recommend checking that one out. If this does resonate with you. We have an interesting spread here. I've done a pre-shuffle with a Black Moon Astrology. So Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Leo Magicians, Leo High Priests, Leo High Priestesses, Leo Lion Kings and Queens. This is your highest royal court. I'm your effervescent, bubbly, and fleeting, ever so fleeting jester with your divine messages for your inspiration, your divine inspiration, your divinity, your spiritual exaltation, your human evolution, all the good. Leo, this was very interesting. This is very interesting. I think I'm going to pull from the Wild Mystic Oracle animal deck. We do have card number 22, Capricorn I use, which is the devil in the traditional tarot. We also have Death, Scorpio I transform, card number 20. And I have card number 10, Neptune, Sacrifice, Seven of Cups in the traditional tarot. And I have been meditating on several cards, including the Wheel of Fortune for you, card number 10. So 10, 10, 1001, 22, 222, all of those numbers are here. So Wheel of Fortune, Death, and the Devil all point to a release of something, right? So here I go. Perhaps there has been an ego death or a experience, like a near death experience, that has resulted in something like ego death. Perhaps you are coming out of a long time of psychotherapy, like talk therapy, where you've come out a little bit, let's just say, disheveled. A lot of it does have to do with emotions. So it could be that emotions have been ruffled, and what you need is just some good old quality. What is that word? Not solitude, but like solitude. Solace, okay? Like a time of rest and introspection, light introspection away from a lot of emotional, tending to situations that rile you up emotionally. You could be very coming to a very spiritual understanding of yourself. You could be a Saturn in Pisces, and I do have the Saturn return age, card number 50, which is judgment, right? Which is also like a release. So, I get a lot of storylines. So besides those first few that I mentioned, it could also mean that you have received or are receiving an inheritance from a family member. My condolences if it is something like where someone has passed, but you are receiving something in that case. It is still difficult, right? It is still, we have to acknowledge that there may be a longer time period to come back to an emotional stability or emotional grounding or a sense of emotional stability. If it is sort of like an ego death thing, it could mean that your relationship is changing, where you feel less active a participant in the relationship. But on the other hand, well, I did want to mention you could be in that age group 27, 20, 29, or 55, mid 50s to say 60 years old. So that could be your second Saturn return. Oh, my apologies. My stomach is making noises. It could, you could also have Saturn in Scorpio. So that would mean you're around 30, like 5 to 40 years old, around that age group. So yes, a very interesting spread as far as these first 3 cards. On one hand, if you are thinking about going like on a spiritual retreat and you're worried, I think it could help a lot in determining what you want to let go of. Regardless, there is something that must transform, or you must let go of something to cause or to effect the transformation, or to finalize the transformation. You could be thinking a lot about changing a job, or you could be recently having been involved with like a younger person. Either you are the younger person falling for someone older, or someone in a more kind of mature stance or stature, or you could be older falling for someone who's younger. The advice here is not to become overwhelmed with the emotion and not to try to rush. On the other hand, if you are involved in a relationship, it could feel like, one storyline I get is that you become or you experience like a time where you were ill, or were dealing with, say, recovery from surgery, or recovery from yes, like a broken bone, something like that, where it caused like a ego death, and it then domino affected a transformative time for you. You're coming out of that, and so you're wondering if your partner is still sort of serious. Maybe they took a less serious approach to the relationship while you were recovering, and now you're coming back. So it's best not to like push it and not to manipulate any emotions. There's a lot to say about overcoming emotions and overcoming any egotistical tendencies. So if you aren't coming out of talk therapy, it would be advised to go into talk therapy just to stabilize emotions. Or if you're going on the spiritual retreat, just make sure you know and understand why or who or what you're giving up. Like there's something to say about like, what are you willing to let go of? Because the transformation that will be caused or affected by the retreat, or by you going on this spiritual journey, it does involve you releasing and letting go of something so that something new can come in. Either way, it involves a lot of hard work. You could be coming out of a period of time when you're like, I need a change. I need a big change. This is causing that huge ego death. Again, it's recommended to likely seek, or for you to seek, even talking with someone, talking with a friend, or I don't know. There's a lot of storylines in that case, right? Yours is like the Cancer reading, and that I had so many like storylines. So thank you for being here, Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising. Regardless if you don't have a distinguished Leo placement, right? I suggest checking out the collective readings or your other placements if you know them, or any that call to you. I have here the Wild Mystic Oracle card deck that I want to pull a few cards from, just to kind of like help us with these messages. Thank you so much, Mercury. Thank you so much, Goddess Isis. Thank you so much to the Archangels. This could very well just involve many ego deaths. We're now having that kind of moment of like, wow, I have been leading my life this way and now I want to lead it that way, and that's fine. And you could have met a younger person that you're really into. Well, it's going to take time regardless. If you are involved in any sort of relationship happenings, whether you've met someone new or you're wondering about your partner now, it's just going to take time to come to a stable sort of commitment, dare I say, is what I want, I guess is what is coming out. Yes, work. It's going to require work. It's going to require, but it could happen naturally in the spring, where you work towards it from now until then. If it is involving work, it just means you can do it. I was getting the star card, so you very well can take on this new role. It is just involving a lot of time, and it is involving your emotional state. So it's best to come at it from an emotional grounded stance and develop your plan of action and then take action. It doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter your age. You are like in that spot where you can do a 180 sort of thing, and it does require taking that leap of faith. So you must be completely ready for it emotionally, right? Are you ready to let go of all these things? And a lot of these things are just small little things that add up to culminate your life. So it's not about giving everything up. You don't have to give. It's funny enough, courage came up for you, Leo. Very interesting. Yes, it does involve work. It does involve love. You don't have to give it all up, or you maybe are realizing that you have to. Maybe I'm picking up on several timelines there, so please take what resonates with you. It could be that you are being affected a lot by Saturn in Pisces, and so if it is something where you have to walk away, just recognize what you're walking away from and what that effects as far as like a domino effect. And so you have to work hard on keeping those things that you want, to keep those things together, held together, and then to break apart from those things that you no longer desire in your life. A lot of it has to do with what you've declared as part of you, and so now you're coming out of this end, whatever you've been through, whatever major transformative time or period of time that you've been through. Okay, working through fears and not allowing that to take over your emotional field. Oops, there we go. And then we have the Death card again. Okay, so yeah, huge transformative time. You have probably been working towards this release, and now you're wondering if it's If you're justified, yes, you are. You're justified, but it does require you letting go, so that you can get to your wish fulfillment, get to where you want to go, get to where you want to be. Thank you so much, Archangels. I want to read one of these cards. Maybe the Death card. Okay, and then we have Trust at the bottom of the deck. Trust and courage are kind of floating at the top there. What values can we look at? Yeah, I think there's a reliance on friends, reliance on family or friends that can help you to see, where you can still have a lot of say so as far as like what you want to keep. Okay, self-control and virtue. So it is about staying in that kind of not so much the high road, but the less emotionally fired up road, less emotionally destabilized road, okay? And just coming to it through the eyes of your soul, basically, the eyes of God. Can you pray? Can you acknowledge that there's a higher force and a higher will that you are being guided by? Thank you so much, Archangels. Wow, rationality is here. So again, it will require work, and it does require you to be emotionally grounded throughout the entire process. It does require huge mental clarity, and there's a lot to say about your creative surge and creative fire. Perhaps you're squandering it away a lot on relationships that aren't working, and perhaps you just need to give that time. Give yourself some time away and apart from being misled and from being misguided by a lot of your partnerships, okay? Maybe it's a time when you do this more so on your own and look less to what is going wrong or what has gone wrong and more to what you're looking to accomplish and what you can accomplish very quickly in like the span of just a few months. You can get out of this funk that you possibly are in. Yes, it requires a risk. Like we said, it's the Fool card, right? It requires a risk. Gosh, I want to read Death. Okay. But yes, let's take a look at the tarot. See if we can get more messages from there. I also get like you could have very well just been through a Kundalini experience where you're like, what is going on? Give me just a moment. I hope you don't mind that I'm taking a drink of my tea here. All right, thank you so much, Leo. What an interesting spread. Can you work through this highly emotionally volatile time period? Can you rest more so on the thoughts of knowing that you will come out victorious, that you will come out with the upper hand, and that you will come out having received your fair share and possibly more? You will come out on the better end, or on the light side of karma and justice. Okay, you will have earned something back, even though it may seem that you may have to lose on something, or you may have to give some things up right now. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups. A lot of water, a lot of so your partner could be a Scorpio, or your you're interested in like an Aries or Pisces or all of these water aspects with Neptune in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces, and then the last full moon in Cancer. This could have very well, like, all of this commotion inside of you has caused this panic of like, is it too late? Is it too late for me to change? No, it's not. It's not. It will just require you getting back to a grounded state and not being so quick to give up, quick to mismanage, quick to misalign. You have to stay focused on what you're working towards. A lot of it has to do with like maybe your emotional relationships are getting in the way of you accomplishing a specific goal. I have here the page, the Princess of Pentacles in reverse. So you're giving me more flowing. Can you go with the flow? What is so oh, here there are two cards. What is so scary about oh yes, you've lost passion, you've lost that sight of passion, you've lost that instigative, inspirational passion inside of you. Yeah, the Lord of Pleasure in reverse, the Sun in Scorpio. Okay, so again, yeah, I was getting that like you could be dealing with a Scorpio, and you're losing that drive for that relationship. Okay, this could just be that timing that you're realizing you are that fixed sign, so you tend to stay on that gradual either slope, however it's sloping, incline, decline, versus a water sign who tends to flow up and down. Okay, so maybe just needing to work on the relationship, work through the fears, work through this transformative time. You guys are like very set on your goals, on work, and so maybe it's the other way around, right? Where the work is getting in the way of your relationship. Okay, so it's figuring out bringing the balance back in. Wow, the World card here. Okay, more Saturn energy and more Capricorn energy. Okay, yes. So what needs to stop? What needs to end so that you can go on? So that what needs to be worked through? What is this fear that you can't come back to yourself after this long haul? Like maybe you do have to leave this relationship. Don't fear the loss. Work more to get out of this. Like there's something about you staying where you are just because you have the fear of kind of losing it all, losing everything that you've built for. You're still working towards more. This is part of the work. This is part of your journey. It's part of you working through a lot of your emotional instability that is not even your own. It's caused by family. It's caused by these emotional flows. Okay, so it's figuring out, is it you or is it them? Is it me? Is it you? Do I need to work through something? Do I need to go into seek help to acknowledge that I need to work through this period of time? Because virtue is here. Okay, there's something about like not letting go of everything. it's you figuring out what is it that needs to like, what is it that needs to be you need to rid of in your life. Is it that you're holding on to a false sense of being, or false, or is there a lot of emotional turmoil within you, where you don't fully agree in how your partner is handling something? Is it that you want more help because you feel down and you feel ill, or you're recovering, or you will have to recover after a period of readjustment in the body? There's a lot of like seeking, again, mental clarity and being stable and working with what you have versus letting the emotions like run and run and run and run. Wow. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Leo. This has been an interesting message full of more messages. It just kind of unravels as I keep going. Thank you so much to Goddess Isis, Sun God Ra, Mercury. Thank you so much for the divine, clear messages. Archangels, Spirit Guides of the highest light. We have the Three of Wands. Okay. See, there is light. There is light at the end of this tunnel. And it's just realigning with your vision, realigning with stability, the grounds, realigning with that passion, knowing the transformative aspect of relationships and not being scared of like getting through this tough time, right? It may be that you feel you can't necessarily get through this time period, but yeah, the Three of Wands means take the time now. Can you actually something must have happened in the fall, right? You could be seeking a lot of answers. It's just making sure, yes, see, the Ace of Swords, seeking a lot of answers. And so it's just making sure that you're actually gaining clarity and not riling your emotions up, right? Like, don't get too caught up in the emotional aspect. You're trying to seek clarity, right? Three of Wands, like realigning with your vision, realigning with why did you stay in, why are you in this relationship? Why are you in this line of work? Is this line of work just attuned to a mask you wear, or is it a mask that actually is meaningful to you? And so is this line of work meaningful to you? Is it just a rough patch? Is it just a rough time that you're going through in this relationship? Again, seek mental clarity. There are folks around you, and there are folks. Look at this from Mercury. God wants to help you, okay? Realign. Perhaps you do need a spiritual retreat or a spiritual you do fear the separation. You do fear that you will have to basically leave, okay? I have the Queen of Swords and the Seven of Swords in reverse. So, Seven of Swords in reverse. Again, you're asking you're asking for a lot of clarity from others, okay? Again, it's about you maintaining your self-control and maintaining your groundedness even through this time of major great change for you, and not over reacting to a specific or particular detail that is just going to take you for a spin, right? The Seven of Swords, again, not taking time out to acknowledge what you truly desire to still remain in your life and the next steps you want to take. Okay, realign with your vision. You're seeking a lot of, it's like you're gaining more comfort from others' viewpoints than actually gaining clarity from others' advice, right? Okay, the Empress and Justice both came out in reverse, okay? So coming back to your emotional groundedness, coming back to your solidarity, seeking solace, and aligning back with your vision. That's what will give you your piece of the pie. That's what will help you to maintain like that grounded stature, that like stable stature that you want to come back to, and to come back to feeling youthful, and to come back to feeling alive, and come back to feeling like yourself. Okay, it's letting go of too much acknowledging what has been, how much time these folks have made you lose. It's changing that perspective to like, this is part of me realizing what I'm actually worth and what is actually worth working towards and what I should actually work for. Wow. Okay, so before I let you guys go, that was a deep, powerful message. I feel I've been learning a lot from reading for you guys. Leo, you're I know this is intense, but like you are set up to land in God's hands and to overcome this sort of emotionally unclear time, okay? It's you coming back to you coming back to yourself. You've been dealing with a lot of others' emotions. You've been dealing with a lot of other people's ups and downs. That messes with your work, with your emotions, and with your... It kicks you back down into that unconscious, holding on to the old you, the old mask you used to wear. No longer are you meant to wear. You're no longer relegated to that. You're no longer subservient to others' emotional turmoil, okay? You are distinguished. You are meant to be honored for your hard work and for your fearlessness and for your courage. You are not meant to take on others' fear and lack of courage. Okay, the Moth. The word death may at first cause you discomfort, but in the natural world, death is an essential part of rebirth, new growth, and sustaining life. While you may choose to view this card as a representation of physical death, understand that it also signifies symbolic death. This card may mean the end of a journey, the end of a relationship, or the end of an attachment. It may also represent the end of one path and movement on to the next. While the moth is known as a creature of shadow and night, we must remember that it is always seeking out the light. Leaves may fall and rot into the earth, but their decay feeds new growth. This card may symbolize hope and happiness in the face of life-changing events or endings, or a new beginning after a life-changing event. Moth card may be urging you to let go of old thoughts, traumas, and anxieties that stagnate your mind, or to cut bad habits from your life that may be holding you back from real change. So the shadow reading is a change is on its way, whether we like it or not. Perhaps we are not prepared. Looking forward and toward the future can be scary and unnerving, especially when we are unsure of the route we must take. The moth may fly too close to a flame and burn. A life-changing event may be on its way. So correspondences are element, air, and spirit. The flora is alder, bluebell, cypress, alder, and willow. Stones are chiastolite, amethyst, and hyalite. Spellwork is Samhain ritual, funeral blessings, ancestor work, speaking to those beyond the veil, blessing a new beginning after a big life change, and dealing with grief. Okay. Well, Leo, I honor your path. This is a huge transformative time. Acknowledge that the transformation has occurred, and now work through the fear of this new beginning. Work through letting go of all of that which does not serve you and does not honor the new you, the you that you've evolved into, the new that you evolve into every day, okay? Keep it so light, keep it so real. Leo, you are built for this. You are courageous and you are fearless. Do not let others water you down, okay? Keep it so real. I send you all the productive light that you may need on this journey. I'll be back with more messages, all right?